Hi, I'm Sam from Tarot for Writing, and I'm back with another card, another definition, and some more discovery or exploration on how you can use tarot cards to inspire your life, your art, and of course fiction writing, which is what I do. Since this is Halloween Eve, I thought I'd show you my coffee mug. Hocus pocus, I need coffee to focus. That is definitely true for me today. So cheers, and let's dive right in to what you're really here for, which is tarot cards. And today is all about the Two of Wands. And if you're new to the series, just a quick reminder, this is the Drop 'em 78 challenge put together by Esther from Mindful Tarot. I invite you to check out her channel. And I invite you to check out the playlist that I have here at Tarot for Writing that includes a video of every card we've looked at so far. We started with the Suit of Pentacles and just now moved into the Suit of Wands. And today is all about the Two of Wands. So let's start with the definition. After the spark of an idea that was symbolized with the Ace of Wands, now we've moved on into a bit of a planning stage. An idea is starting to formulate, but it is not quite ready yet. This card speaks to me of patience, of planning, maybe of some early accomplishments. It also speaks to me of innovation, the need to come up with something new. And if we look at the man in this card, he literally has the world in his hand. How much more innovative can you be? It also speaks to me of potential. He's gazing out across the water at what the future might hold, thinking about everything he could do, everything that he could accomplish. At the same time, though, he is still in his castle, both feet on solid ground, but like I said, looking off into the distance, dreaming about what the future may hold. So this is really about the early stages, about plotting, about planning, and for me as an author, this really is the stage where I have a spark of an idea for a book, but I'm sitting down to kind of flesh that idea out, come up with a blurb or a rough outline, a rough overview of what the story will be. It's starting to take shape. It's a really fun stage in the writing process. I'm sure if you create any type of art, you can, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's so much for the definition of the Two of Wands. Now let's zero in on a detail. And what really caught my attention is if you look at the wall of the castle where he's standing, there is a relief or a carving, a picture of white lilies and red roses there. And it reminded me of the Ace of Pentacles that we looked at the very beginning of this challenge. The garden in that card held white lilies and red roses. And then if you remember or grab the card and take a quick look, I wish I would have grabbed it to show you, but it has a gate and we see a mountain off into the distance. And I'm wondering if we are now getting a view of the other side of the mountain. If you watched a video about the Ace of Pentacles, I was wondering what lay behind the mountain. Maybe this is it. And if so, does that mean these two cards are connected? And if they are, that could mean that spending a little bit of time planning and plotting will go a long way towards helping the potential commercial success that the Ace of Pentacles speaks of. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little detail and an interesting connection to make between these two cards in two completely different suits. The Pentacles, the suit of earth, of grounding, and the Wands being the suit of fire and inspiration. Now let's talk a little bit about what I might do with this card as a writer. So the first thing that kind of just came up in my mind is that this guy might be setting off on a long journey. So this could be a character, the story about a character who leaves his home, his old familiar settings behind and sets off on a journey. And the story could be about everything that happens to him until he reaches his destination. If we don't take it quite so literally, it could also be about somebody with a big idea, but with no real knowledge, at least yet, on how to bring it to fruition. It could also be, looking at this big castle that this person is starting out with. It could be about somebody who wants to leave a family business or a legacy or even a comfortable job behind. Somebody who wants to strike out and create something of their own. And then if I am using this card just to flesh out a scene, to get some ideas for setting, just work out some little details and looking for inspiration. We see a big lake here, so this could inspire a house on a lake. That would be a fun setting, especially for the types of paranormal romances that I write. Then I was looking at the wands and how he's holding one of these like a staff or a hiking stick. And that kind of gave me the idea to maybe have my characters, I write romance, so my couple go out for a hike and everything fun, exciting, romantic, or slightly disastrous that can happen during a hike. And then I was looking at the guy holding the earth in his hand, and it made me think of a globe that one of my geography teachers had in his classroom. And that kind of made me think about what if this story, or maybe even just a small side character, depending on what I'm working on, what if this person was a teacher? And then of course we see him longingly gazing out across this lake. So if I'm doing a little bit of a character study, that could spark an idea that this person is a dreamer. Or it could be somebody who wants to travel the world, kind of combining the idea of the globe in his hand and looking like he's getting ready to travel. So somebody who either is starting out and seriously considering traveling the world, or somebody who's just dreaming of doing that. And if so, what are the implications of that? And how awesome of a conflict for a romance novel would it be to have this character who finally made up their minds, made their plans, saved up and has the funds to go travel the world, and right at that moment they bump into the person who might be the one. What do? Do you stay and see where this takes you? Do you try to convince him or her to come along on this epic adventure? Or do you go off putting faith in the idea that if it's meant to be, that they will meet again? A lot of fun ideas to dig into here as an author. And then again, moving into the whole idea of the world. What if instead of traveling the world, this person wants to change the world? And maybe there's a little bit of idealism tied up in all of this. Maybe they don't quite know how to change it yet. Or maybe they have a very good idea of what they want to do, how they want to do it, but there are, of course, some stumbling blocks in their way. Because without those stumbling blocks, we wouldn't have much of a story, would we? So these are just some fun initial ideas. The longer I gaze at this card, the more ideas it sparks. I hope you've enjoyed this quick look at the Two of Wands. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up and come back tomorrow for the Three of Wands. Don't forget to check out the playlist. And if you enjoy this type of content, along with deck reviews, deck collections, that kind of thing, please subscribe to the channel and let me know what else you would like to see here. I'm happy to share some spreads that I've created, some other thoughts on authorship and how I pull in the tarot to help with that. Happy to share. I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.